Hi.
Ooh. Wow. Hi.
Listen, I was trying to think up something fun, witty to say, and it was just a real battle, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
I don't know where to go from here.
was painful.
It was painful, much like this film franchise.
There are, what is actually a good metaphor for this franchise? Because it's not
It's
painful.
got some gems. There's some moments.
It's like, no. I was going to say it's like sex with a cactus. But all of that
I don't think
seems,
in any way.
Well, because my whole thing was going to be like, it's painful, but at the end of the day, it's still sex. But then I was like, no, it's sex with a cactus. That's not good.
I think the cons outweigh the pros in that.
It's like
eating out at a nice. No, it's not like eating out at a nice restaurant.
I refuse to continue until we come up with. Okay.
It's like paying taxes and you go home and you go, oh, I'm so happy. The good news is, honey, we paid all our bills. And your spouse goes, oh, that's so great. And what did you spend all our money on? And I said, property tax.
Right.
And it's like, okay, we've checked something off the box, but it didn't make me feel satisfied. But it's a necessary debt to society.
Yes, I think that's okay. We're getting somewhere.
Okay.
But I think also while you were paying your taxes, you happen to do your accounting at an accountant that has like a really nice free like latte or cappuccino, like an espresso machine. And so there were parts of it you didn't enjoy. You didn't enjoy finding out you're being audited.
No.
You didn't enjoy the cigarette breath of your accountant.
Who does?
But you had a lovely latte, and so there were moments that were good, and there were moments that were not so good. and then your accountant told you that you were getting $1,000 return, and then you got home and you told your wife, and your wife told you that she's developed a gambling addiction and has actually just burned $1,200. So now you're still $200 in the hole. I feel satisfied with this analogy. Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movie Man podcast. I am Peter. My great analogy maker co-host is Brady.
Yes. Whenever someone says great, suddenly are young things great?
Young things?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess they are. You could have like a great baby. This is a great baby. But I just feel like when you say, oh, the great, right? Like it sounds more like a title. And so then I'm
like a historical thing, like the Great Famine of 04.
Yeah, like I feel like I should be on a mound with some sort of manuscript or holodecks. And I'm like, let me tell you an analogy for what it is. People just come to you with your issues, right? People come to you with issues. They're like, please, oh great metaphor maker, my dog has syphilis. And he's like... And then much like the grandpa or the dad from wait, much like the grandpa or the dad from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where he's always got like this is like a pineapple and that's all the great meta. That's all I do up on that hill. Like I'm not actually
solving problems,
helping anything.
No.
I'll be like, well, I hear your situation with your dog syphilis. Let me tell you, syphilis is kind of like paying your taxes.
Okay, I'm going to bring in what we're talking about today. Can you turn my headset down 1 or 2 octaves?
Crank it up?
No, down.
Oh. Okay.
So we're here for numero
octaves?
5. Yeah,
I can't change the pitch.
Well, I know.
Of the decibels.
Oh my gosh. Levels. Numerical numbers.
Yeah, but...
okay. Enough analogies. It's not like a pineapple. We're here to talk about Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
The 5th film in the original series, as we start covering all 10 of the films, if that's correct.
Finalizing the original series.
Correct, yeah, kind of bringing that to a close, which I'm excited about. I'm not going to take any hot shots about it, but I do feel like we've paid our debt to society.
And officially opening the Great Debate. And bringing the Great Debate to a head.
Yeah, I see the pros in doing the Tim Burton one next.
It's just order of release.
But I've been wandering in the... Sorry for plumping my phone. I felt like Carl there. Sorry, Carl. I didn't mean to take a shot at you. I just feel like we've been wandering in the desert.
Right.
And sure, one option is doing that one, but I just want to do the new ones.
But surely...
I just want to do the new ones. And come back to Tim Burton at the end, but we'll figure it out.
But do we want to end it on what could be perceived as crap? Right? You want to go out with a bang.
Yeah, but like when you're in the heat of the battle,
and then the whole
you just want it to be done.
And then the whole question becomes, well, why did we start with the ones we started with? Because they came out first.
Right. Yeah.
And this
but our hope
next.
is that they're connected, these 9.
Well, what if only the remake is connected? What if we're like, we see no way of connecting this to the original, but this is clearly a part of the Tim Burton universe?
Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
Let's figure it out. Anyway, we're here to talk about number 5.
Yeah.
It's been a long journey. Definitely a film that existed. Whether it was good or not, we'll get into.
Yeah.
It seems like with each passing film in this series, just financially, they were okay. They didn't lose money, but like number 1 and 2 were pretty smashing. 3 and 4 and 5. As they go on,
number 2 is still a steaming pile of hot dog shit.
No. Like film wise. We're not here to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about like financially because of number 1 being successful.
Okay, right,
financially,
sure,
2 was still hot.
Yeah.
3 was less so. 4 was less so. And then by number 5, like it was the least financially
just
successful.
a podcast that reviews films. Why would we be here to talk about the quality of it?
That is what I want to get into because obviously I think your answer is you still hate number 2.
It's garbage.
But let's get into initial impressions because I've got a question for you.
I am the what is the underminer from the end of the... Where are the mole people?
Whatever they're called, the wrinkled
okay, so
faces.
initial impressions.
Yeah.
This is Battle for the Planet of the Apes?
Yep.
Is that what this is called? Not as bad as number 2. Is genuinely a part of my initial impression. Not as bad as number 2. Not as good as the first one. Definitely not as good as the third one. But I think definitely better than the fourth one. Right? So first one, the whole story's introduced.
Yeah.
It is, it's the first one, it's the story. Second one, it feels like a continuation of the first one. They blow up the whole planet. There's mole people. It's really bad. The third one was so interesting to us, and I think caught us both off guard because it was the time travel one.
Yeah, some of the underpinnings for sure.
And you're like,
maybe not beginning to end of the film,
something interesting going on,
but the
here.
underpinnings. Yeah.
And we had Victor from Young and the Restless.
That was actually cool.
And then the fourth one was how the revolution started, how the revolt started.
Yeah.
But it just something about
they skipped over the most enticing thing because they're standing in that statue of a dog.
Yes.
And they just skip over the entire most interesting part about alluding to, you could really dive into that whole warp of like the plague was started by the aliens or the monkeys who came from space, but really they're from the future.
Right.
And this, like, just dive into that more, and instead they touch on it for about 30 seconds and then just get into mundane stuff that doesn't matter.
I think the reason why the fourth one ages so poorly is because it was trying to depict. It was a 1970s
that's true.
version trying to depict a well and thriving 1990s. And what we got was a mix between... What we got was like Star Wars' Meth Baby. It was just... It lacked realism, but then it also lacked budget behind it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I see what you're
reality.
Yeah, it was kind of like the guy that makes the haunted house in his garage. and then you have to go through it to get your candy while you're trick-or-treating, and you're like, I see...
There was vision, but
I
it didn't follow
where you
through.
wanted to go, but I also saw that you only had $50 to pull this together. Like, you know. But then this one, I think why this one, for me, ages better is because it is like nuclear fallout. Like, just everything's destroyed and in rough shape.
Yeah.
And
I love there's a scene where they specifically say, this is the hell my forefathers used to speak about. And I just felt like that was a real jab at modern day Detroit.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, so it just doesn't, you know, everything kind of looks the same when it's in ruins. And so it ages a little bit better. And then there's some really, really interesting story stuff that goes on with now young, like new Caesar 2.0, who is questioning a lot of what has been taught and passed down.
Yep.
And so I think that's really fascinating. Yeah. What are your initial impressions?
Yeah, I'm ready to keep moving on in this series. You know, I joking aside, where the opening narration seemed like a poor man's Sean Connery, dumbing down the opening sequence for us. I feel like number 2 at the time when we reviewed number 2, you specifically said how we view number 2 will be depending on where this series goes.
Yes.
And where the series goes, I feel like number 2 hasn't really changed in as far as what it did and how it aged. Like, it's not like, okay, because of 3, 4, and 5, 2 stood up better. But on its own, I just feel like 2 to 5, and I'm going to lump them all together here. I just feel like there was a real squandered opportunity where you could have really planted some fun Easter eggs throughout.
Right.
Where you lean into more of this time warp and this loop of, you know, what causes the plague, and was it, you know, because of what happened in the past, or is it because of the people coming in the future in the past? And they do touch on these things. Like, don't get me wrong, but like lean into it more, put in more Easter eggs, and don't spend as much time on the filler and the action that is just not that captivating. And just lean into more neat, cool things of time travel and time warp and all that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like, I guess in some of my initial impression is number 5 is a lot like 2, 3, and 4, where if you boiled it off and got rid of some of the filler, there's some really cool gems here and there, but there's a lot of filler and a lot of stuff that just feels like, hey, we want to package a movie and have a couple neat ideas. But like you said, the guy who has his garage Halloween haunted house just, you know, it's not really fleshed out. So that would be my initial impression. I just feel like some of the storytelling is a squandered opportunity here, because there's some neat ideas and they touch on them in some movies more than others. But
so then piggybacking off your initial impression, because to me this asks a really interesting question.
Sure.
And that is, and it's sort of a multifaceted question. So bear with me, but so you're lumping 2 through 5 together.
I guess I'm lumping them together in that they all had similar flaws.
Right. But and then 1 obviously stands on its own because it's Planet of the Apes is the first one.
I mean, it's not without its flaws, but it stands on its own.
And so then my question becomes, but is number 1 actually good? Like here's the thing, right?
You're hitting the nail on the head. I don't think it's great.
We look at it and we're like, you know, the second one, you know, blah blah blah, compared to the first and whatever, because it's because the first one is celebrated because it is the first one.
Yeah.
Because it introduced it all. And we both equally really didn't like 4.
Yeah.
But my question becomes, you know, change a couple of things so that there's a little bit more exposition in 4, just so that 4 could be a springboard, right? Could be a jumping off point. And had number 4 been the first one that came out in the late 60s, would we all be celebrating that one because it was Planet of the Apes, right? Same plot basically,
Yeah.
right? Or the second one, or whatever, right? Obviously, you'd have to change some things because you'd be missing the exposition of the first one.
Yeah. I get your point because, number one isn't perfect. It's not without its
No.
flaws. I don't know if
Well,
I'd go as
like-
far as what you're saying, but I get what you're saying.
Here's the thing, and we talked about this sort of ad nauseum with the first one, and it's a flaw that I feel like the next four don't have. Nothing happens in the first one, really. There's not a lot that happens. We get a big plot point at the beginning
Yep.
with them arriving
Yep.
and meeting the apes. And at the end, we have the big plot point with, okay, we're going into the Forbidden Land, and then we discover that this is Earth. In fact, it's New York,
Yeah.
you sons of bitches. You really did it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like there's like an hour in the middle of like, well, they're still in captivity.
Completely agree. You're not wrong.
Nothing happens.
But I feel like that's at least some storytelling at the beginning and at the end that's some strong. Could have used a bit more oomph in the middle.
Yeah.
Won't disagree with you at all. But I feel like in the other ones, the difference is there's not any iconic, and I don't want to get anti-iconic because that leans into your point of just because it was the first blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There's no incredible storytelling that's going on and throughout them. There's really neat stuff that I think if they leaned into it more, you maybe could have got something. But
And I think that's true of every franchise, whether it's good or bad, right?
but
And
like you said with number 3, I'd argue number 3 was one of the
great.
most creative
Yeah.
of them all. It just got tacked down with some of the tackiness.
But
some
here's
of
the thing.
yeah.
I personally think number 3 is the best one in the series.
Yeah,
Nobody talks about it.
No.
Nobody talks about number 3.
yeah.
And it's so like it would be the same as like, and this is I use this example a lot as in a joking fashion, and so this is going to seem like a joke, but really it's not. Even though it's garbage, everybody knows of and can reference the existence of the human centipede.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure there's like 4 or 5 of them. Nobody ever talks about the garbage that is Human Centipede 2. No, they just talk about this awful, disgusting film that is Human Centipede.
Right.
Right? And so I think it just gets celebrated because it's the first one. And the thing about the first one, you know what the first one taught me before we actually talk about the film we're here to talk about?
Yeah.
Do you know what is infinitely better about getting sucked forward through time instead of backwards through time? Forwards through time is a lot less lonely.
Why do you say that?
Because nothing bad can come from getting sucked forward through time and then taking a lover, as Taylor tried to do or did. And he could have children, and he's just a guy from out of time, and they have children, but then those children exist and move forward and blah, blah, blah. You get sucked backwards through time, you better keep it in your pants, man, because you are just destined to screw up the world because you're not supposed to be there. And the time that you came from is, if you do ever make it back, is going to be really messed up and changed by the fact that you decided you were going to create little Timothy with your savage primordial wife that can't even speak.
There's a lot there. I guess it depends how you break down all these paradoxes. But let's get into this one. Let's get into this one, shall we?
Not touching that with a 10-foot pole, huh? All right.
All right. So this film is told as a flashback to the early 21st century with a wraparound sequence narrated by the orangutan lawgiver in North America, which is now 2670 AD at the time of this film. And this sequel follows the chimpanzee Caesar years after the start of a global nuclear war when they've destroyed human civilization.
I thought this was poorly set up. Like
for sure.
It was confusing because you're pulled forward and there's there's a big time gap between the last one and this one.
Yep.
And there's this whole sort of society set up where there's educators.
Yep.
And but there's not, like, I would have loved a little, like the opening. I would have loved an opening crawl, right? Just something to give a little text on the screen saying, hey, it's been 2,000 years. Apes and humans are still coexisting and they can still talk and things have not quite progressed. Because for the first 15 minutes, you and I were sitting there going, so what exactly is happening? Because there's still a human
Google
here.
Search, yeah.
There's a human here teaching apes.
Yeah.
There's a human who's still has to follow the rules. Is not allowed to say the word no. Is not allowed to, whatever.
It's a little weird.
But there is a human here who, as a teacher, still has some
control
form of authority over
and he can
these
just
apes.
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were just kind of left in the dark a little bit with that.
Speaking of left in the dark, you made a comment jumping back because like when it was starting with the narrator and then it jumped forward to the actual story that you're referring to. When it was just the narrator, there was something hokey with his mask and the way he looked because you literally said, why is this guy climaxing when he's saying the narration? And I said, that's a really good question.
Well, because he kept making noises too, right?
Making like noises and weird faces.
Like, have you ever seen
an inappropriate way? Because it's like, he was talking about like the decimation of cities and like death and things. Like
everybody died. Like, have you seen the internet video of like a turtle having sex with another turtle and it makes that noise?
No.
I'll send it to you.
Please don't.
Yeah, because I think what's happened is like they have recycled these costumes
big time
through all of these films. But the actors have not always been the same actors.
Right.
And so what you result in was, well, this fit the guy that we made it for 12 years ago.
5, but like the point stands.
Right, but like, I felt like, because it's something that I've talked about. I have been thoroughly impressed at, especially in the first one, second one, I think the third one holds up, where it's like, these costumes, for the most part, are seamless. However, that's not the case in this one.
But they're still hokey. It's just in general. But especially in this one.
To me, I don't know. I still think like late 60s, early 70s, this is like...
Yeah, I know for the context.
Potentially groundbreaking costumes.
You're not wrong. It's just still distracting.
In this one, it just kind of felt like we had stopped caring or something.
If only that were true.
Yeah.
Living with his wife and son, Caesar creates a new society while trying to cultivate peace between the apes and remaining humans.
Yeah.
Caesar is opposed by an aggressive guerrilla general named Aldo, who wants to imprison the humans who freely roam Ape City while doing menial labor.
Yep.
That's how it goes back then, I guess. After defusing followers of Aldo, who attacked a human teacher for saying no to an ape, Caesar wonders if his own parents could have taught him how to make things better. I always thought this was a bit of a random jump. Like, I don't know.
Always? I've always thought that.
Sorry, that was a weird way to
Finally
phrase it.
watching the film confirmed it.
Sorry, when we watched it, at the time I just thought to myself, how did we get to this conversation? Because he goes down, we'll get to it in the summary here, but like he goes down this whole path of, I wish my parents, and if there's only way I could hear them, hear their voices, I might know what they want to say. And I just thought it was super random and super convoluted storytelling. Maybe lazy storytelling, to be quite honest.
Spoken like a guy whose parents are still alive.
MacDonald, who is Caesar's human assistant and the younger brother of MacDonald, who was in the previous movie.
Yeah, so how long has it been?
So I thought he was the same guy, but apparently it was his brother.
No, because it's been years.
Yeah.
But like, how long has it been?
Oh.
What did it say in the beginning?
It doesn't say exactly, no. 2670 AD.
2670 AD.
Yeah.
And the last one happened
I'm just
in
looking
the
it up
90s.
Now. Oh,
so
yeah.
it's been 600
It's been
years.
What? Yeah.
That's not the younger brother.
Did that happen in 90? Because, that one happened
It was the 90s. No.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, the 3 was in the 60s, number 4 was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wrong. It's not his brother.
It's like He's great.
Oh no! Wait, no! It is his brother. Remember, because sorry, the orgasming ape was in 2670.
Right,
The
and then we
actual
jump back.
thing was just the son. Yeah, that's back. So it is his younger brother. Reveals to Caesar. So this guy's brother reveals to Caesar that his brother told him of archival footage of Cornelius and Zero within the underground, which is now radioactive from the ruins of all the nuclear bombs and whatnot. So in this forbidden city, there is this film that's contained in the archives. And I'm sorry, like I'm just going to get on this dead horse again and kick it. It just seems like such a convoluted
The image in my head
plot.
right now. Just you in a desert on a dead horse. Come on!
Come on, Ethel! But it just seemed so random. Like, of all the things, like in the other ones, it seemed natural because there was like a problem and we have to resolve it. Problem, we have to resolve it.
Right.
This one just seems so hokey. Like the guy's like, I just need some guidance. And instead of saying, hey, maybe just go see a therapist or talk to someone you trust, he's like, okay, go to the Forbidden City that's radioactive and swarming with humans and find this video of them. That even if you do find and survive and don't get killed, might be ambiguous. Like it was just videotapes of them getting questioned. Like it's not like they left a video to their son saying, if something happens to us, this is what we want to tell you. Like it's literally like 90% of the videos would be control questions of like, what year is it? Who's
Right.
president? And then the 10% of things would be like, did you kill and maim human beings and treat them poorly? This whole premise, I just found a little hokey.
And then also, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Caesar travels with MacDonald, because why not, and his orangutan advisor Virgil to the Forbidden City to find the archives. And this
What a
skips
name. What a name for an ape.
Virgil.
Virgil.
This skips over the whole armory bit where they go to the armory and have to answer about
Yeah, and that
16
one guy who's like,
and
no,
six-
this is where you live, buddy.
And there's
He's
like 16 questions of like like each one was more philosophical than the last. Of
Yes.
like, who's to say we should have guns? Who's to say we shouldn't have guns?
Yeah.
Why should we have guns? What is a gun? Who am I? Are you a gun? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it just
Yeah. I felt bad for this armorer.
like he's lonely.
Well, he's just lonely, and at the end of the
Yeah.
film, he's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking,
Yes, I know.
I'm thinking maybe I'd like to open a
Ice cream shop.
delicatessen."
Yeah.
And Caesar's like,
No, buddy.
"No, bitch.
You're gonna be here forever.
Yeah, this is. Can you? We're gonna kind of need you to stop being such a Karen about this and just accept the fact
This is your lot.
that you live here now, pal."
Yep. It's revealed that mutated and radiation-scarred humans are living within the city
Aren't we all?
under the command of Governor Culp, the man who once captured Caesar. I didn't remember this guy. Their hats were so hokey as well. Just
Well, he was less scar. He wasn't radioactive the last time you saw him.
so maybe he looked quite different.
Yeah.
Caesar and his party view the recordings of his parents because luckily nothing broke down and everything worked, and even though it was dusty and covered over in mothballs, it was still working. Learning about the future
They don't build them like they used to.
and Earth's
It was all you didn't see. You couldn't see because of the dust, but it was all Nokia.
Oh,
it was the
for
brand.
sure.
Yeah, it was. It
It was all mobile
was
phones.
built to last.
He learns from the videos about Earth's eventual destruction before they're forced to flee because of the soldiers hunting them. Fearing the mutant humans may attack Ape City, Caesar reports his discoveries. When Caesar calls MacDonald and a select group of humans to the meeting, Aldo leads the guerrillas away. So
Yeah.
some early tensions between the guerrillas.
Do you think at this point Caesar, like it's no, there is an interesting position that Caesar is put in. Because if you're Caesar,
And it's a Sunday.
you have grown up in a world that
With apes.
apes are prisoners,
Yep.
and you don't really know why, but they are. And the answer to that why, even though you don't know it, is that the government is fearing you and subjecting you because they know of Earth's imminent doom. But you don't know that as Caesar.
Right.
And so you cause a revolt. Mm-hmm. You start an ape rebellion.
Right.
Overthrowing the humans and establishing intelligent ape society quite quickly, by the way, is the biggest leap in evolution that any species has ever taken. They're all talking now. But it's fine.
It makes sense.
And then all of a sudden, 10, 15, 20 years after the fact, you discover that the actions that you have taken, actions that you believed to be noble, actions that have granted you the position of leader among your people, has set in motion, or at the very least, like maybe your parents coming back in time have set in motion and there's some weird paradox or, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you have played one of the most integral roles, moved a very important piece into position to secure that future of doom. And so it's, like to me, even though they don't delve into that or unpack it, and maybe we're stupid, not even aware of it when they were making this film, it puts Caesar in a really interesting existential position, because on the one hand, Caesar has self-preservation and he has a sense of duty to protect his kin, and therefore does not want the humans to attack and eradicate them.
Sure.
On the other hand, Caesar seems like a pretty straight shooter. And so there's probably a small part of him, even a microscopic itty-bitty part of him, that is going, but maybe that would be for the greater good if we were taken out. Right. Because we're clearly not supposed, to be events have been set in motion that do not have a good outcome. So anyways, to me that's interesting that it's to be struck with that piece of information, that this big revolution that you caused, that the humans weren't about it like a bunch of dickheads, but were just in their reasoning for not wanting apes to have any sort of power.
I think what that your point highlights to me is just missed opportunities, where if they had explored things like that, I think that would have made more interesting films. I think exploring things like, if Caesar is going forward in this stuff, is he propelling what the future will be and what we know it will be?
Right. And you make an excellent point, a total missed opportunity.
Or is it that it was going to happen no matter what he did, whether he sits in his tree and eats bananas, and that's how the future unfolds?
Would humans have done it? Are you stereotyping? Would humans have done it sooner?
Yeah. Or, are his actions pushing things in motion, or is it already in motion to begin with?
Yeah, and actually apes being in charge is going to prolong the doom of the earth, right?
Yeah. So explore this paradoxical stuff, explore the ethical stuff of him going, oh, should I be doing this? Is it better? Like, all this stuff I think would have been making it more interesting.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yep.
Culp scouts find the ape shitty.
Ape shitty. They find here's the thing. They don't look. They're not monsters. The humans are not monsters. They can't help it. They just ultimately they find the apes. They're shitty, right? And so it's like, what choice do they have?
They find the ape city, believing Caesar is planning to finish off all the mutant humans.
That's, by the way, that's gonna be a piece of merch.
Ape shitty.
Ape shitty.
Ape shitty, indeed. Culp declares war on Ape City despite...
Did you almost do it again?
Almost.
It's amazing.
Ape shitty, where the grass ain't green and the girls aren't pretty. Copyright pending. Ape City, he declares war on the city
Good Lord.
despite his assistant Mendez's attempt to get him to see reason. Aldo plots a coup d'etat in order for the guerrillas to take control. So all these things are kind of happening simultaneously. Cornelius overhears from a nearby tree, but is critically wounded when Aldo spots him and hacks off the tree branch he is on with his sword. The next day, after
I feel like that deserves a little unpacking. That's savage.
It was.
Like he is shitty. Like that's
there's no two ways about it.
Now I think the kid was a little bit of a pansy about it. I mean, I think
he's a kid.
It wasn't that big of a drop. But you still don't cut a kid out of a tree.
Yeah, rules are rules for a reason. The next day, after a guerrilla scouting pair are attacked by Culp's men, Aldo takes advantage of a I'm off today. Advantage of a grieving Caesar's absence to make all humans corralled while looting the armory. So he just busts the door down, says, "Pun master, I'm taking the guns. I'm not answering your questions." And this is how it's going to be. Cornelius eventually dies, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll admit that was emotional. When his son died, that got me. As poor as much as these stories I feel could have been in a different direction, I'm not heartless, and neither were you. That was emotional. So he dies, even though it wasn't that big of a fall. And Caesar's pretty devastated about this. And he has a revelation that Cornelius was not hurt by humans. There's some investigative sleuthing that they go, like this twig is broken here. And they come to some conclusions. They have some suspicions. When Culp's ragtag force launches their attack, Caesar orders the defenders to fall back. Finding Caesar lying amongst dozens of fallen apes, Culp expresses his intention to personally kill him, which I guess they had met in the previous film, but I just felt this whole antagonistic relationship they had was pretty hollow. Like it's not like they had a lot of build up in several films that I'm going, wow, like him personally wanting to kill him, the stakes are here. Like it was just, why do these strangers hate each other? I didn't understand it. The apes are merely pretending to be dead. They launch a counterattack and they capture most of the mutant humans. Culp and his remaining forces try to escape, only to be slaughtered by all those troops once they are out in the open. I feel like that was pretty bad luck. Like the monkeys are like, let's let them go, no blood on our hands, only to be intercepted by the apes who just brutally, like ruthlessly murder them cold-bloodedly. But you play with fire, you're going to get burned, right? Aldo he confronts Caesar about releasing the corralled local humans and orders the guerrillas to kill him. When Caesar shields the humans and Aldo threatens him, Virgil, having learned the truth from MacDonald, reveals Aldo's role in his son's death. Enraged with Aldo for breaking their most sacred law, ape shall never kill ape, they all get pretty culty and start surrounding Aldo and start.
Is that what it says? Or
I just added that in.
Yeah.
They start chanting at him and like chase him up a tree, quite literally.
Yeah.
Caesar pursues him up a large tree. They're confronting and resulting in Aldo's falling to his death. And it's a bit of a loophole. I mean, he didn't kill an ape, but I mean, he pushed him off a cliff metaphorically.
He caused the death of an ape.
He did. With Caesar now realizing
like to be fair, right? And God, like this, I want you to know this will never happen. But if I ever cut your son out of a tree and something horrible, let's say he just breaks.
It's not happening.
No. Let's say he just breaks his arm.
Yeah.
Right. And then you come to me angry, as a father should.
Sure.
And I say, look, pal. Mm-hmm. I was pruning a tree. Your dumbass kid fell out of it, broke his arm. I have nothing to stand on there.
Right.
That is,
yeah.
Yeah.
I can chase you off a cliff.
Kill me.
Okay. When Caesar now realizes that apes are no different than their former human slave owners, he agrees to McDonald's request for humans to be treated as equals. I mean,
Does he though?
no, I don't know. I feel like, so they say they go on to have a new society where they coexist. I feel like this is a pretty meandering storytelling way of just how they where they started to, how they got here. I don't know. It just doesn't add up to me from a storytelling perspective.
Well, and then it, being the last film in this run of them.
Yep.
You would sort of kind of maybe expect that it would set things up and leave them in a place where we go, oh, okay.
Yes.
So now we see where we get to. And it doesn't because the relationship between humans and apes in this
is bad.
Not what it will go to be.
Exactly.
And that almost like...
Which, you raise the point. Let's address that. Like, let's do that. How do we get to where Charlton Heston is?
Well, because here's the thing. I don't necessarily think that this film was intended to be the last, right?
Oh, maybe
not. Because here's the thing. Like, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like the finale.
We'll get there in a bit, but when they pan on the monkey and they're like, yes, we will coexist forever, and they pan to a stone statue that starts crying, to me that seems like, yeah, I think they're done.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of wonder if there was a plan to keep going.
You could be right.
But then ultimately there was a moment, right? Like the next director's lined up. He's like, okay, so now how do we get from where we were to where we need to go? Mm-hmm. And then there was another voice in the background that went, who cares? And then they were like, okay, all right, I guess.
Apparently there's I
guess we're done.
Apparently there's an extended cut. Maybe it lands.
Is there actually?
According to Wiki. Yeah.
I wonder if that's what we watched. Probably not. We watched
I don't know what's
Disney
on Disney Plus. Yeah, I'm assuming that's the regular one. With Caesar, with Caesar now realizing that apes are no different. Yeah, we went there. They store their guns in the armory. Caesar and Virgil reluctantly explain to the armory's overseer, an orangutan named Mandamus, that they will still need their weapons for future conflicts and can only wait for the day when they will no longer need them. So this is what you referred to earlier before, where this guy's like, hey, you think we could just kind of like get rid of them and I could do something different with my life? And the leader of the apes like literally goes, no, we're going to need you. We're going to need you to just stay put. Just stay put. The scene returns to the lawgiver. So back in 2760, I'll get the number here. Back in 2670. And the lawgiver is saying it's now been over 600 years since Caesar's death. His audience, the lawgivers that is revealed to be a group of young humans and apes. The lawgiver noting that their society still waits for a day when their world will no longer need weapons. While they wait with hope, then it pans in on this stone statue of Caesar, and it shows a single tear falling from one eye. And I do agree with you. Maybe they had another movie planned up in the wings, but I would have just loved a film addressing how we got to where we were. Let's not leave a 1,000-year gap and we filled in the blanks with our imagination because, well, I would have preferred that. But I thought that was an interesting it was an interesting cut scene to end the movie anyway. I feel like that was pretty definitive.
It does, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you may be right, mm-hmm. right? Like it may be that was how they intended to end it. I don't know. I can't see why. Yeah. Right? Like I don't know why that was the ending. Yeah. But
here we are.
That's fine, I guess.
Anything else you want to touch on that we haven't covered in the synopsis breakdown.
I don't think so.
I will say there were some cinematography moments that I actually, compared to some of the other films, I was like, ooh. In number 1, we had this, and it was nice to get back to it in number 5, where you've got scenes in the desert walking, but it's not just, let's show something happening, let's do it with a nice sunset in the background, the reflection of water, like just different things like that. The father-son moments were pretty... It was sad when he died, and the son says something about, hey, are things going to pan out? And the father just says this line about, you'll be as tall as a tree someday, and just giving some solace and comfort to his dying son. So I felt the second half of the movie was a bit better, but the first half was just awful. The ultimate battle scene at the end was awful, and the battle nets, which make a blood-curdling cameo in every movie where they're just the most effective combat weapon ever, they made a comeback in this movie too. So it was what it was.
Hey, don't judge it.
Don't judge it till you try it.
Don't judge it.
Should we rank this puppy?
We can.
Okay.
On a scale of 0 to 10. How would you rate the Battle for the Planet of the Apes?
I've been pretty rough on this series. I think the highest I gave was a 6. I think I would give this a 4. I'll give it a 4. I'm not going to be any more cruel and give it a higher, but it's definitely below the midpoint. If a 5 is a take it or leave it, I'd still probably give it a 4. I could be more critical, but I'll give it a 4. What would you give it?
This might be the first time that we align.
Oh yeah,
with this. I'm not sure if it is
on this series. We've aligned on things before, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, on this series. I think a 4. Yeah. I mean, there are some moments in it that I feel like are worth seeing.
Sure.
There are some interesting concepts that are unpacked.
Yep.
However, it's not
good.
It's not good.
Yep.
And it's not to the extent of what they could have done.
Yep.
In terms of exploring and unpacking. And so to me, yeah, I think 4. Is it garbage? No more than some of the others.
Yeah.
Is it a masterpiece? No.
Is it a hidden gem?
Probably
not.
To be honest, I don't think any of them have been a masterpiece.
No.
I think the closest we come to that is in the third one.
Yep, I could see that.
And so yeah, and it's sad for me.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping that there would be a real standout thing, and it would just be like, wow, like, because I went into these curious and excited to finally explore, get into the world of the Planet of the Apes. But I think I was, at the end of the day, truly hoping to walk away from it going, wow, I had no idea what we were missing. And
that didn't happen.
It just doesn't end up happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. What'd you watch this week?
I only watched one thing. I watched a 2010 film starring Leonardo DiCaprio, starring, oh man, I'm drawing a blank. I will get the
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, there it is. Ben Kingsley.
To be
Max von
100% transparent and fair to the audience. We did not I had no idea that you were going to say Shutter Island. I was like, I don't know. Could it be?
I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's been a while since I've seen it. I feel like it's one of those movies that I remember the hype at the time, and I think at the time everyone was drinking the Kool-Aid, and then it went into, for me, like a secondary phase where, okay, maybe it's a bit
I saw it in the
overhyped.
theater twice.
I saw it in the theater once. It was a very fun theater going experience. It was great. I felt captivated. But my point is, it still holds up. It's still solid. I don't think it's any higher than a 7. Like, it's not earth shattering. Some of the things are a little bit tropey. And some of the things are, they're good, but they have a ceiling. But it's still a solid film. And just, it's one of those movies where the acting, the soundtrack, the cinematography, everything about it is just good.
Yep.
And it's not perfect, but it's really well done.
Well, and it's a great, like, who directs it?
Good old Scorsese.
And what's interesting about it is I think there was a period of time where I mistakenly thought that it was an M. Night film.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I can see that.
It has that kind of
feel.
It's got a big twist.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And we won't spoil the twist.
No.
But the twist in it kind of keeps coming in the sense that not only are there things that you won't expect, and yeah, there's quite a twist, but even once the twist happens, it still doesn't end the way you would think.
No.
It's bold in how it yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a solid film, so I'd definitely recommend it after all these years. 7 out of 10. What'd you watch this week?
Did I watch anything? More House. Still watching House.
Nice.
Mom was off sick, and so there was no
Harry Potter.
Lord of the Rings.
Where are you? So you've watched Fellowship?
We'll be watching Two Towers this week.
Oh man, the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, so excited about that.
Come on, it's not bad. I know it's not your favorite.
No. I genuinely
Okay.
Genuinely excited about that. Is there anything else? I don't think so.
Nice. That's a lot of fun. You're into the cream of the crop now.
Yeah. Was going to watch a horror film.
Yep.
Because it was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that after.
Here's the thing. Oh my God.
What?
See if I can get a response. I just got a message from my mom live while we're doing this podcast.
Sure.
That says, currently watching Lost in Translation, ...
Oh, please. Just please. Give it a chance, Brady's mom.
Well, she is. She's giving it a chance.
But like,
just see whether it...
Don't make any judgments. Let it transport.
What do you mean? Don't make judgments. That's.
But like preconceived judgments. Like
right.
Let it transport you.
Well,
I
mean, at this. To be fair, I feel like at this point that would be
honestly
hard to do.
Honestly, at this point, I think she might watch it, and like, honestly, she might. It might not be her favorite, but she might go. It's not that bad.
Right.
We'll see.
She might. It's always possible, I guess.
All right. Well, I'm genuinely curious. Update us.
Yeah.
It's the minute you know. Day or night.
Yep.
Light the beacons.
Yep. She doesn't get that reference yet, but
she will.
She will.
It'll be majestic.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you for listening. We really appreciate you joining us. We will continue on in this series as we go on. We'll continue on in other things as well, Carl and.
But who knows with which film?
Well, just stay tuned. You'll find out. Stay tuned with Carl and Brady's upcoming series where they watch films they've not watched before and make the other watch. Stay tuned with upcoming votes and just whether it's the Tim Burton or the non-Tim Burton. I don't want a poop emoji on it.
What? Well, you can't say shitty.
I guess
You want
not.
to sell stuff that says shitty?
A little bit.
All right.
No, I don't.
Just a T-shirt that says no graphics on it at all. Just something that
the
says
word
shitty ape.
Shitty ape. Ape shitty.
Ape shitty. Right.
Sorry, Brady's updating the merch store, and he's making a pretty cool monkey shirt. But
They're not monkeys, they're apes.
they're apes. I'm so sorry. Until next time. Ape City.
City?
City. Metropolis.